I think we can all agree debt is a motherfucker. So today, I'm going to show you an example of how a client of ours was actually able to pay off $434,000 of debt in a fraction of the time. I'm Shawn King, Infinite Banking Specialist, and today we're going to crush this debt. So this is actually one of my favorite examples because it can show you how powerful it is to actually use your policy and apply it for eliminating debt. I've done very similar things to this with my own personal debt. Like I mentioned before, this is a real life example of one of our clients who had $434,000 worth of debt he was looking to pay off faster than his current plan had set him up for. Now, this specific client decided to start off his policy with a $2,500 a month payment, which is $30,000 a year. Instead of paying that premium monthly though, he was actually willing to pull together $30,000 from other sources like savings and retirement, knowing that chunking down his debt heavily in the beginning by paying the annual payment up front would quickly allow him to free up and redirect some funds back to his own personal banking system. So let's take a look at his actual debts. He owed $29 to his Visa card, $3,400 to his Discover, $5,000 to the dentist, $7,400 to Home Depot, $15,000 to Best Buy, $16,000 to Apple, $21,000 to Rooms to Go, $45,000 on a Mercedes, and $316,000 on his house. If you add that all up, it's $434,000. Next to each of those debts and underneath them, I have also listed monthly minimum amounts that he was required to pay. Remember, because this is third-party payments, the interest rate that would have been charged, and how many months he would still have to pay on those debts if he just continues to do it their way. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we're going to go a little faster than that 240 months that it would traditionally take him, and I want to show you exactly how we did it. Now, it's very important to realize that we're not doing anything different than what you would do in your everyday normal life. I take that back. We're doing one thing different. Instead of making deposits into your conventional bank, you're going to make deposits into your own private banking system. Follow with me here. We're going to take loans from our private banking system, and if we take loans, we're going to repay them to our private banking system. So let me show you how we get this done. Now, there's a lot of numbers on this screen here, but I want you to focus on the right-hand side of the page. In the very first year of his policy, he deposits $30,000 total, and of that $30,000, $17,401 are available to him immediately. And of course, with over 17 grand available to someone who wants to pay off debt, he decides to do exactly that. So he pays off the Visa card, he pays off the Discover card, and he pays off the dentist. Now, Home Depot did get a little bit of an extra payment, but it didn't pay off right then because of the larger balance it originally started with. But it actually does end up getting paid off before the end of the year is over by going back to those minimum monthly payments. So this gentleman has chunked down a solid portion of his debts. After doing that, he thought to himself, you know what? I just took a loan from my private bank, but actually, I don't feel like repaying. And he calls me up. He says, hey, Shawn, thank you so much for helping me set up my policy. I've been crushing this debt. I paid off 3 credit cards and I'm feeling really great about it. But I don't think I want to repay. Is that okay? And of course, I told him, sure, that's okay. You don't have to repay. You're the banker, you're in control. But consider this. Say you don't focus on repaying the loans, but you still want to play good banker. So you take the money that we freed up every single month from paying off those credit cards, and you use that to start repaying yourself. That way, no extra money is actually coming out of your pocket. Those dollars were already spoken for, but now we're just redirecting their flow. And he said, okay, sure, I'll do that, but I won't do any more. I'll send all the money I was paying to my credit cards originally and to other debts as I pay them off back to myself as a loan repayment. I told him that was a great idea. So that's what he's going to do moving forward. Any debt that gets paid off, the money that was being spent on that original monthly payment will be redirected back to his policy to pay back his loan and be able to use again right away. At the end of the first year, here are the 4 debts he paid off, and here's what he has left. Again, remember, Home Depot didn't pay off right away, but it did end up getting paid off throughout the course of that year. So we're at the end of the first year and he's got 5 debts left. The start of the second year rolls around and he puts in another $30,000 deposit into his private banking system. Now his policy's available cash value is just over $18,000 and he had repaid himself just over $3,200 throughout the course of that first year, which makes his total just over $21,000 that he can use to go ahead and pay off more bills. So he does. Best Buy gets paid off and Apple gets a little bit bigger of a payment, but doesn't quite pay off right away. Now, since he paid off Best Buy, he says, you know what? The way that I was doing it last year worked pretty damn well, so I think I'll just keep doing that. I used to give them about $250 a month, but now I can redirect that to use to help pay myself back with, because, hey, I know that when I pay my loans back in my private banking system, that money is there for me to use again later. Perfect. So at the end of the second year, here are his new balances. At the start of the third year, he puts in another $30K, and his policy's cash value that's available to be loaned out now is just over $28,000. But wait, remember, he also had accumulated just under $8,000 as loan repayments. So he's got a total of $36,221 that he can use to eliminate his debt. Say goodbye to Apple, Rooms to Go also gets taken out, and his Mercedes gets a little bit bigger of a payment. But it doesn't pay off right away. Now, all he has left at the end of 3 years is his car and his house. I don't know about you guys, but I'd say he's doing pretty good. Before we move on, I want to take a quick break and do a little bit of math. Let me ask you guys, how much did we put in so far? Well, in the first year we put in $30,000, the second year we put in $30,000, and the third year we put in $30,000. That's a total of $90,000. How much did we take out? What were his loans? We've got $17,000 first year, $18,000 the second year, a big jump in the third year, $28,000. That's a total of $63,000. So the question I have for you is, how much is left in his private banking system? Now, some of you might be doing some math here. You might be taking $90,000 and subtracting it to $63,000. And if you're doing that, I gotta stop you right there, because that's actually incorrect. And the reason it's incorrect is because you have to think back to our 3-cup setup. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it at the end. It'll be extremely helpful for you to watch. You see, his $90,000 is in cup 1, the premium deposit cup. And when you pay $90,000 in premium deposits over 3 years, it purchases you a significant amount of death benefit. Now, in this debt payoff example, we didn't show you that death benefit, but what we have shown you is the cash value, the net present value of the future death benefit that he could use, which is $63,000. So, how much is left in our private bank? If you said all 90,000, ding, 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 you'd be correct. All 90,000 is still earning for us day in and day out. And just like you would think with any other type of deposit that's earning continuous compounding interest year after year, look what happens. See, his premium deposit in the fourth year is $30,000 again, but his policy loan available is $30,101, more than he actually deposited. Not to mention, he saved up or accumulated an additional $13,716 over the course of this last year for a total of just under $44,000. That's his, and it's readily available for him to use to accomplish his debt payoff. So bye-bye Mercedes, and all we've got left is the home. Now, the home gets a pretty significant payment here in month 37, but it doesn't pay off yet. He's got about $247,000 left on that house note after that big payment he just threw down. But I want to go ahead and fast forward just a little bit, because all we have left is the house. And in the 61st month, the 73rd month, and the 82nd month, the home gets $32,000, $33,000, and then $19,000 to finish it off and pay off that home completely all the way down to zero. So what that means is in exactly 82 months, aka 6 years and some change, every single debt has been paid in full. Now let me be clear, all of this money did not come from policy loans. This is very important, guys. A good chunk of it came from him playing good banker, not increasing his lifestyle because he had more money now, but instead using that extra cash he had access to from paying off these debts to repay his policy loans and really get his system moving. But think about this. Now that all of his debts have been eliminated, he can now decide what he wants to do with all of the cash flow that was going to paying down those debts in the first place. Now, luckily for us, he was smart enough to use that money to repay his loans. And now he's looking to send out money from his policy to outside investments to start making money in two places at once. So just to recap, you guys, this gentleman was able to pay off every single debt he had, including his home, in 82 months. That's 158 months faster than he would have otherwise been able to with his old plan. This is what taking control of your money looks like. When you become the bank, you're in control, and the possibilities are infinite. Warren Buffett has a quote that I really love. If poor people would just do what rich people do, they wouldn't be poor anymore. I love that quote. The first time I heard it, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it stung a little bit because I thought to myself, come on, Warren, now you're just picking on us. But the more that I read it and the more that I educated myself, the more I began to understand what exactly he was saying. What you need to realize is this system of infinite banking has been around for a long time. The wealthy have been utilizing it for decades. If you want to get out of debt and start building wealth, why not do what the wealthy are doing? At the end of the day, guys, the information is always free. We're just trying to lay it out there for you so you can get the most out of it. If you like this video, please do me a favor, subscribe, hit that like button, and be sure that you're following for all of the weekly content that I put out. Again, everything's education based. We just want you guys to have the best opportunity to get wherever it is that you want to go in your life. As always, the information is free, but the knowledge is priceless. My name is Shawn King, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.